Hi class, my literature review focuses on the relationship between telework and job satisfaction. While researching, I found a literature review by Bailey and Kurland titled A Review of Telework Research, Findings, New Directions, and Lessons for the Study of Modern Work. In their review, Bailey and Kurland found that the relationship between telework and job satisfaction was unclear, because there were inconsistencies in the research findings. So I used their review as a jumping point and looked at the research that was published afterwards, focusing on that relationship between telework and job satisfaction. So I found 10 research studies that seek to explain the relationship and the affecting mediators. My review showed that the relationship between telework and job satisfaction is actually still up for debate. Of the 10 articles, some claim a curvilinear, inverted U-shaped relationship between the extent of telework and job satisfaction. So kind of like that. So the more someone teleworks, the greater job satisfaction, but only up into a certain point, in which it then plateaus and dips. And some of the articles actually argue just a positive relationship, that the more an individual teleworks, the more satisfied with their job. So while there's this argument still on the relationship between telework and job satisfaction, a common mediator that was found in the research was relationships. Teleworker relationships with supervisors, coworkers, families, these were all important factors in the teleworker job satisfaction relationship. The most influential for job satisfaction was teleworkers' perceived quality of manager relationships. Additionally, some of the research focuses on telework and job satisfaction and how it differs between genders. And the research showing that telework can be actually used to alleviate certain stressors while inducing others. And these stressors also have impacts on relationships, on their relationship with their supervisors, coworkers, and family. In my review, some practical implications are given, including making sure that organizations offer trainings for managers. Since the manager-teleworker relationship is so influential to job satisfaction, it's really important that managers are properly trained in order to, help boost that job satisfaction. Monitoring the extent of teleworking among employees in order to determine whether or not this plateauing effect happens. It would be good if organizations kind of monitor things, see how employees are doing, gauging their job satisfaction to see if they need to kind of put a cap on how much people are teleworking, or is it truly a positive relationship, and then, telework as much as your heart desires. Implementing programs that are not one size fits all. So, like I was just saying, if we're monitoring the amount, some people are gonna do really well, full-time teleworking, and then other people may only do well teleworking 2 times a week. It's going to differ a little bit, so it would be good if organizations are not extremely rigid in their programs, but offer some flexibility. And lastly, making sure to encourage coworker relationships to minimize feelings of isolation. And, like we said, relationships are very important, and part of it is this isolating effect that teleworkers could feel. And so by encouraging relationships between coworkers, team members, it will decrease those feelings of isolation.